13 months, 24,000 miles, all for science and education in a 64-foot boat. Around the Americas with Captain Mark Schrader tonight on Public Exposure. I'm Stan Emmert. Captain Schrader, wow, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Okay, the Around the Americas project. Tell me just very briefly about it.
Well, it's been in the planning for about 3 years, and it really is to bring attention to the fact that North and South America really, we're an island surrounded by one ocean, not several oceans, but one ocean. And we want to highlight the fact that everything that happens in that ocean affects everything that happens on land and vice versa. So by sailing around it, we're bringing attention to the fact that this is what we maybe can control and help change and improve and take care of. And that was in the short form, the reason for the trip.
Well, and we're sitting on your boat right now, the Ocean Watch, and this isn't your first trip, huh?
This is not my first trip. In the 80s, I was fortunate to have sailed around the world alone on 2 occasions, one in a race and one as an adventure. Then work intervened and life intervened, and I wanted to go out to the ocean again. I loved it, but at this point, I don't know how many of these trips I have left, and I wanted to sort of transition. I felt like I had an obligation to transition from being an ocean adventurer to being an ocean steward. I love it out there, I love the ocean, and I don't think people really make the connection to how crucial it is that we take care of that resource. It keeps us alive. I don't think enough is being taught about that, and I was hoping to bring attention to some of the major ocean conservation issues.
And one of the ways that they're doing that is through the website. It's a great website. We're going to be putting it up early and often, aroundtheamericas.org. Please be sure to go to that. The website itself is an integral part of the trip. But at the start of the show, I said 13 months, 24,000 nautical miles. My gosh.
It's pretty ambitious. Sailboats are supposed to have destinations, not schedules, and we have quite a schedule. But again, if there are 2 bookends to this trip, if you will. You need to get through the Northwest Passage at a certain time. It's only open for a few months, 2 months perhaps. And when you're at Cape Horn, you want to come around Cape Horn at a certain time when it's summer there. And the incidence of gales is perhaps less than at other times. So with those 2 bookends, you start looking at a trip around the Americas, and there are certain gates you have to go through in order to do this in a year's period of time. So we have quite a schedule. We have quite a few stops. It is doable, but I need a really competent crew, and I have that in a very good boat.
We're going to be talking about the crew, and something that is really neat, again, is the website itself. And right now, if people were to go on to the website, regardless of the time of day, they can find out pretty much where you are.
Right now they can see that we're in Ballard. We have a device on board, in fact we have several, but it is tracking the boat, and every 2 hours does a little dot on the website, so you can go there and you can see where we're going, how fast we're going, if we're off course or on schedule or not. We felt that that was crucial for the interest that we're hoping people go to the website. There are terrific things on that site, including the education program, but part of it is knowing where this crew is and what we're doing.
One place I'm going to track you for sure is through the Northwest Passage. Are you concerned about that at all?
I am concerned about it. After all, in 100 years, about a little over 100 boats have made it through the passage. It used to be impassable. With climate change, with the ice breakup and warming, it's now possible to do. The part here is the worry. We have to be staged at the west side, ready to go in as soon as the ice breaks up. We have to be out the other side by mid-September, or it'll be a long winter.
Captain Schrader, we're going to take a little break then, because we're going to bring on David Thorson, who is with the crew and who is an expert in the Northwest Passage. And up on the screen you see a map of the Northwest Passage itself. This is an interesting, dangerous, beautiful place, and David Thorson has been there, and he's coming up with us right now. So David Thorson, welcome in on this. You tell us about what you're doing on the ship itself, what your job is, and then we're going to get to the Northwest Passage.
My job is to document the voyage. I'm a photographer and videographer on board, and what I'll be doing is documenting daily life and the science projects on board, and also some of the beauty and chance encounters that we have along the way through the passage and around the Americas.
Yeah, and you've been to the Northwest Passage before, through it.
Yes, twice there and once through it.
You have some fantastic pictures that we're going to be getting up on the screen. One of them is blue ice. There really is blue ice.
There really is blue ice. That's caused from the meltwater back when the iceberg was actually part of the glacier, and the water flows into the crevasse and refreezes and eventually melts, and that becomes the blue ice.
And we also have a picture of the Cloud 9 in the Northwest Passage. I take it that was a boat that you were on, or a part of. How does this boat compare to the Cloud 9?
Cloud 9 is a fiberglass vessel, 57 feet, so a little bit smaller, and Ocean Watch is more of a battleship. It's a small battleship, but nonetheless it's a steel boat and is much better equipped as a research platform, nice wide open decks, and will be a little more sturdy and also provide more room for us with all the extra science gear we have on board.
Okay, in the few minutes that we have, talk to us about the challenges of the Northwest Passage and what you want to accomplish while you're there.
Well, the challenge from the Northwest Passage is not just only the ice, but the weather that can just spring up on you from time to time, but mostly the ice. And it's going to be interesting to see. In 2007, we were there in really a tipping point year. Scientists are still trying to explain what happened with all the loss of ice that summer. So it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues to be in place. It's interesting that last year in 2008, the Northwest Passage opened the same day as in 2007, on August 15th. The boats went through from both ways. So it'll be interesting also to see the number of boats, if that's increasing as more pleasure boaters kind of hear about the Northwest Passage being open and maybe go up there to try to challenge it themselves.
Well, I thought that the Northwest Passage there was a lot of ice there lots of times. And so you talk about it being open. What would a pleasure boat possibly be doing up there?
They want the same kind of adventure that all of us have had in the past. Although we're traveling with a purpose, there's still lots of folks out there that just want the adventure and challenge of trying to do something like that themselves. But the passage is still difficult even if there is less ice. And the ice is something that we did not see for 7,000 miles in 2007. We never touched any ice. In '94, we had terrific challenges with the ice, and we were trapped and icebound on numerous occasions.
Roughly at the same time of year.
Same exact time of year and in the same locations. Yes.
Now, as a documentarian, which is also part of your function in addition to being on as part of the crew, what is it that you're going to be doing from that standpoint?
From the day-to-day life of all the crew members and the science members on board will be something that the public is very interested in seeing. So doing updates to the website through our satellite system on board to keep people interested, and also doing a lot of things for the kids. And shore duties may include some public speaking, doing presenting and showing different legs of the trip through some slideshows under the big tent, so to speak, when we stop with our presentations. And also, hopefully, we'll do a little documentary at the end of the whole trip, and possibly a nice book for people to see.
Well, so this isn't exactly a Top Gun experience then. This is more true science and education.
It's true science and education, and also playing the middle, trying to be a storyteller and bringing science alive for the public, and especially for kids following the trip.
Well, David, we're going to be following you every step of the way that we possibly can through this fantastic website. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be taking a very short break, and we're going to be coming back with Captain Mark Schrader right here on Public Exposure. Go to the website, aroundtheamericas.org. You're going to learn so much about this incredible journey and the ocean around us and how important it is.